What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you guys are having a good Friday today. We are going to kick off the, weekend, or the beginning of the weekend, or the prequel to the weekend with a summon pull. We are summoning for the Lady Noelle fusion, as well as Titan points. And there's actually a pretty good progressive going on with some really meta relevant champions right now, at least for the Chimera. So obviously Plarium wastes no time in terms of answering the call of the players and what champions work best. So let's quickly take a quick look at the champions up for grabs here today. So we got Newt, obviously one of the best PvE champions, one of the best fusions of all time. We got the triple hit, 10% of the boss's max HP. One of the best. If you don't have one, you want one. If you have one, you want two. If you want two, you probably want three, and can make three work in some teams. He's absolutely insane champion, of course. Definitely one of the best non-void legendaries in the game. After that, we have Duchess. Duchess, one of the best support champions, definitely one of the best non-void support, non-mythical support champions in the game. Brings the perfect veil, block debuffs, increase attack, team revive, team speed aura all battles, and then a great passive, great base stats as well. Very relevant in a lot of content, very good in Chimera, Hydra, Arena, for example, hard carry and dungeons and stuff. Definitely a worthy pick here as well. We also have this brand new champion, Highkeeper Prisma. I did a quick kind of overview of what this guy actually did. Really cool A2 here, which basically juices up one champion and then gets them to attack with him. And then he has a kind of single target revive here. A little bit disappointing that it's a 4-turn, but it's a pretty strong buff that comes out of it. Pretty strong HP and turn meter as well. So 4-turn makes sense, but 3-turn would have been appreciated. The best thing about him actually is probably his passive. At the start of this champion's turn, has a 40% chance of removing block debuffs from each enemy, replace them with block buffs. It also has a 40% chance of basically flipping a bunch of positive buffs into negative buffs, or into debuffs, sorry. So it's a very strong passive, and it happens every time at the start of his turn. So just passively. Really good. Interesting champion. Would like to see some play testing on him. I haven't actually had a chance to play test him yet, but he's up for grabs here in this 15x. And then we have Snicktrax here. Snicktrax I showcased in one of my earlier teams for the Chimera. Very good champion. Brings the decreased attack and leech. Obviously very good against the Chimera. And then the biggest thing for him is probably the decreased speed and the shields. The shields help you against the Ram Chimera form, and the decreased speed is just awesome. It lets you get more turns against the Chimera, of course. And then we have the ally protection as well here. The reflect damage doesn't really do anything against the lion form, but the ally protection is helpful in keeping your team alive. Passive does place some leech, which is also very good as well. After that, we have Opardin here. Opardin has gained a lot of love lately, especially with the launch of the Chimera boss, mainly because of his interaction with Senna Amberheart. So Opardin here places the continuous heals, more continuous heals, and then his passive gives him turn meter every time a continuous heal goes off. So really good synergy with Senna Amberheart, giving themselves lots and lots of turns and turn meter. So they work really well together, but he's been getting a lot of love in some Chimera teams if you have Senna. After that, we got some pretty good epics here again for the Chimera boss as well. We got Geomancer, probably the best epic damage dealer. I use Geomancer in one of my Ultra Nightmare teams just because he's the best I got in terms of max HP damage dealers. I have one Nut and I have one Geomancer. So he's very good, very worthy of picking up. He's good everywhere against any boss. If you don't have one, you definitely want one just to make your life a little bit easier in all content. So he should be the pick most of the time here if you guys are after him. After that, we have Taguar, sorry. Very solid champion, especially for faction wars. Actually really good revive on death here. Brings a shield and stuff. It is a 5-turn cooldown, but you probably will be okay. It's just an epic anyways. He also brings increased speed, which is really important, especially for the Chimera boss. And then he brings the increased defense here just for the A1. Nothing too crazy. And his passive gives you a little bit of damage reduction here under the less than 50 HP condition. So a pretty good epic, to be honest. A reviver, increased speed, as well as a heal. I mean, just a good, solid champion for the Chimera boss. After that, we have Stagnite. Stagnite's actually, I tried him out in a couple spots, mainly because his A1 has decreased speed. His A1 has decreased speed, really good against the Chimera boss, and then obviously decreased defense and decreased attack. Very, very solid. Much needed for the Chimera boss as well. Self buffing here on his passive. But great champion, great base stats, and yeah, 5-year-old champion, still good and relevant in brand new content today. But yeah, but the biggest prize is actually not these non-void legendaries and epics. It's actually going to be one of these void legendaries. So all three of these are incredibly good for the Chimera. If you have one, you want the other one. So the best one here is going to be Senna Amberheart. So Amberheart here, I did a showcase on her when she was first like announced on the test server and stuff, and I thought this champion is really fun. I paired her with Grand Oak Podrick, and they had some continuous heal synergy. Basically, the big thing with Amberheart here is that her passive gives the whole team turn meter when continuous heals trigger. So the more continuous heals you have on your team, the more Amberheart here can trigger them with the A1. The more turn meter your whole team gets, and then basically your team just takes more and more turns. So it's really, really cool. And I thought like, oh, there must be something here with this champion, but I never really got around to what content she could be good in. And of course, against the Chimera here, she is absolutely an insane champion, MVP in all the top damage teams so far. And mainly it's because of boosting the turn meter, right? She has the A2 that places continuous heals, which adds to her boosting. Increased speed, very important. And then the turn meter boost here. Also revive. We know how important this is actually, because the Chimera is really, really difficult in some of the stages. So having a revive as a backup is really, really nice. And yeah, she gets some damage out of her revive as well. She also brings a speed in all battles aura, which is super, super solid. And yeah, just a really, really good champion here. And she would be the prize for me. Acrizia, great damage dealer, one of the best damage dealers for Chimera. All max HP hits on her kit. And then we have Krisk, decreased speed, decreased defense, increased speed. I mean, you can put all sorts of stuff. Provoke, he's good everywhere, all content. And it's no different for the Chimera. But for me, the game changer here would be Senna. So I'm going to try my luck with Senna here. And then we actually have a little bit of additional incentive to use Void Shards during the Summon Rush. I'll show you guys what happened. Oh, and some extra love here for, of course, Aniri, one of the best, Void epics in the game. And actually this Ethan the Golden actually is unsung a decent damage dealer for a Chimera as well. So what do we have here? We have the self buff, increase crit damage, and then ignore defense here. And then you got the big slam. But the big thing is he also places the block active and true fear. So it's actually a really, really good, an epic champion, really catered towards the Chimera showdown. So great void epics as well. But I'll show you guys what's going on here with this summon rush. You guys might not have noticed, but basically you see here 5,500 for the epic. I think it's good to go for the epic if you have shards left over. 5,500 is pretty much standard. That's 11 sacred shards, but they've also given a boost to the void shards here at 180. Usually they're 120, and they specified it here, get 50% more event points than usual when summoning from void shards. So there is a boost for void shards here, and it's actually pretty worth it. I think 180 to get the epic here, it only costs you about 30 void shards. So if you think about it this way, a guarantee void epic probably costs you more than 30 void shards usually. I would say probably maybe even 40 void shards at some point. So 30 void shards I think is probably reasonable. At worst, it's probably on par with spending sacred shards, 11 sacred shards. So 30 voids versus 11 sacred shards. It's arguable which one is harder to get. From my calculations, you get about 38 void shards a month versus about 15 sacred shards a month. So it's pretty comparable in terms of spending 30 versus 11. But just because of the 15x progressive, event that's happening right now, I think that's going to push my decision over the edge to spend my void shards instead of regular shards. So I really want Senna here. I wouldn't mind having maybe like boost like extra Neri copies here. I'm going to pull for Senna on both my accounts, mainly because she's going to help both my accounts in Chimera. I like, obviously these two would be better in many areas, but the Chimera, getting it on lockdown and being able to help your client out, it's going to be, it would be very helpful to have her for sure. So I'm going to confirm it. I'm going to be pulling 30 void shards on both accounts, and then we'll see where it stands. Also, I want to make a quick note here actually about this summon rush while we're here, is that they actually give you 3 mythical books, which is super generous, I think, for a summon rush here. That is actually like, with a decent progressive event. But 3 mythical books is pretty significant. So I just want to point that out for people that are spending the big dollars on the voids. Also, I wanted to quickly mention why I want to go for the epic here. So the epic here, like I said, is actually pretty good value for 30 void shards. It also gives you the option to skip 4 events, right? 4 events. Also, I'm very close to finishing the Sir Nicholas Titan event. So after this summon event, I'm basically done the Sir Nicholas Titan event. And then afterwards, I can basically skip any event that contains Titan events. I know the Sir Nicholas event will end somewhere around here, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I forgot which one. I think it might be Wednesday or Thursday. So you might be able to get some more points somewhere here, but I can definitely skip those if I want to, just so I don't don't get extra Titan points where I don't have to. So I have some flexibility here. Also, I'm extremely busy in the next coming days, next week or so, just because I'm moving right now. It's just been absolutely insane. So, having the extra flexibility here is definitely worth it for me. But I imagine on first glance, I'm probably going to skip the champion training event, this dungeon diver event, and then this champion training event here at the end. And then probably just one extra one, that I might see. Certainly there's going to be Titan points associated with the next dungeon diver champion training. I'm pretty sure that might be the last chance for people to get the Titan points, but it lets me skip it without really caring about the Titan event anymore, which is really good. So that's why I'm going for the epics on both my accounts. But yeah, let's pull. Best of luck to me. I think I'm at, check my mercy here, 100 at 19. So 120 on my alt account, and on my main account, I'm at 83. So 120 and 83. So I'm not too close to mercy here. So I'm not going to expect to get anything too crazy. So let's see. Non-boosted rates too. So let's see what we get. I don't know. Keep in mind that pulling for voids, you're not going to get an insane chance, but it's a pretty good chance. 15x, if you pull a legendary, 15x on a void means that you're probably getting about 20% chance to pull your desired legendary. On non-voids, it's only about 7% chance. So it's much, it's much more advantageous to pull for 15x voids than it is for 15x non-voids. But so far, nothing. We got one epic and 20 void shards. Feels bad, man. These rates on? Sometimes they don't turn on the 2x. I usually like to wait a little bit until other people are pulling and they're realizing that stuff's not on or something. But all right, looks like that's it. That's the 30 for this account. We got 2 epics. That's the reality, guys. That's the reality here. We're pulling with normal rates. It's actually like so disgustingly sad sometimes. So 30, I'm going to finish it off with some small shards, but it seems like it's a pretty decent value for 30 void shards. I'm not worried about it because I'm still sitting on 174 void shards here. But yeah, let's pull on the main account and see how we do there as well. All right, we're back on the main account here. So we're going to do the same strategy here. I got lots of sacred shards. I got 40 sacred shards on this account. I got 60 sacred shards on the alt account, but I'm choosing to go with the void shards here just because of how impactful Senna Amberheart would be for my account and for Chimera if I pulled her. So I'm really hoping that, you know, get something, but of course, you know, the odds are definitely against you. You only have a 0.5% chance of pulling legendary on a non-boosted event, of course. But yeah, let's see what happens. 30 void shards, let's go. Not close to mercy here, so nothing we can really do about that. That means my alt is at about 150 since the last void pull, so my alt is set up pretty well for a, you know, for a mercy pull. We just got to find a good mercy pool that we want for the alt. Sea of Blue. Feels bad, man. Let's see if we can get Tolf the meme. Come on, man. We got Tolf on both accounts. Come on, let's see if we can get something here. Something for the cameras. Something for the cameras. Still nothing. We got Tolf on the second 10 pull as well on the first account. And 1 epic for 20 void shards. Is this the reality, guys? This is the reality, I guess. All right, that's gonna be it. You know, overall, I mean, I still think it's a really good deal. 30 void shards to pick up the epic. Literally 1 epic and 30 void shards. Pretty bad. Pretty bad, but that's the reality. That's the reality. I'm still set up for like a guarantee, right? 129 void shards. I'm still set up for a guarantee just in case. So that's also something that I consider in my decision making as well. But I mean, like, come on, give me something here. Should I max it out? Should I try to max out the summon rush, get all these mythical books for the mythicals I don't have? Like, I could max this out, right? What is this? This is 20 sacred shards for 3 mythical books. That seems kind of worth it. Like, if you told me I could get 3 mythicals books for 20 sacred shards, like, that seems kind of, you know, it seems kind of worth it. I don't know. Some people would probably do that for 1 mythical book even sometimes. But yeah, for me, it's a nothing burger. I have 35 mythical books. That's me saving up for, you know, 15 months, right? I haven't booked out Carnage. I booked out Mikage. I booked out Mikage, but you know, what's her total book? She takes like 10 mythical books or something. It's like, so yeah, I probably have like 45 mythical books over like the past 15 months or so since mythicals were introduced, but I got no mythicals to use them on. I don't know. I could use them on Carnage, but yeah. Not a big deal right now. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Hopefully you guys got some better luck on your pulls. Let me know how you guys are doing with the Lady Noelle fusion if you guys are going for that, and also let me know how you guys are doing on the Sir Nick Titan event. Are you guys in line to get them both? I think I did a viewer ask not too long ago, and I think a lot of people were actually going for both of them, which was a little bit surprising considering it's the holidays and all that stuff. But yeah, let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know how your holidays are doing. And yeah, we'll be back with another video soon, and have a great weekend. Thanks for watching again, and I'll see you guys in the next video.